right, what up, motherfucker? Ooh, we gotta wait a half hour for that. What's Let me cut that off there. How's everybody doing? Another week down. Mr. Pigpen. ZL1, baby. Not tonight, brother. So I kind of been noticing a theme, and I don't know if I don't know if the whole push of EVs and everything coming in over the past years is been a big deal or a big influence or whatever, but it seems like yeah, we're not getting the representation of Mr. Infidel, Fear God. What's up, guys? Yeah, we're not getting really. This might pertain to Mustang too. I don't know. Definitely not Challenger and Charger. I know, even though they come, the SXT, they come in a 6 cylinder. I've been noticing uh some of the 6 cylinder guys need to be either stepping it up, or we're not giving the appreciation in which they deserve. I mean, I know everybody's got their own opinion, but I think they're cool. I've owned V6 Camaros, um, some by choice. I know one of them I didn't. I didn't really want it, but it was it was okay daily banger. But I think they're cool as hell. And as a matter of fact, I was doing some research on some other V6 motor or V6 cars on the same platform, and they're going for big money. I mean, Porsche flat six, it's still a 6 cylinder. 6 cylinders make big dang power. GTRs, they're the fastest on the street, man. I mean, there's a ton, and those are supercars, 6 cylinders. So, yeah, 6 cylinders, they need to be stepping it up. So I'm gonna give it a little bit here for everybody to jump in. What's everybody been up to? Same old shit, just a different day. I got some tuning. We got some tuning under our belt. It's going to be I can't wait to share that with you guys. That's all I'm gonna say, but I'm not gonna. Oh man, hang on here. I went to go kill something and it freaking just ixnayed all the work and presentation I set up for you guys. Okay, there we go. So we'll just remove that. So, anyways, the V6, I know it's not everybody's favorite powerhouse, but even GM did see, like, they had a little bit of foresight. They gave it a 1LE package. I mean, they gave it Brembo brakes. They gave it a ton of cooling. I think what else did they give it? They gave it a little bit extra cooling. They gave it a mechanical locking differential, or maybe it was a limited slip. I can't remember. I got a video pulled up here by Mr. Joe Rady from Rady's Ride. He does a breakdown. He does a pretty good presentation of it. But yeah, man, the freaking 1LE got in the V6, and then I haven't seen one channel, and I've been digging. There's been a couple channels, but they're like a freaking flash in the pan. I mean, they're just like, you'll see them put up a little bit of content and whatever, and then I give them shout out, give them recognition. I keep following up, and then boom, the freaking channel's gone. So, but anyways, I suppose we'll just get into. I'll bring it up here. Mr. Rady. We'll just do like a breakdown of the 1LE package here. I hate to rip off, or I hate to bring in anybody else's shit here, but he does a really, really good job, and the guy's credible, he's knowledgeable, he's very thorough, and yeah. Do. What the fuck? I didn't know that. Did anybody else know that? I didn't know that. Hang on 1 second here. Man. What in the fuck? Well, I tell you what. We're having some complications here, fellas. I didn't know that about the 1LE being available for the 4-cylinder. I'm sorry. I thought it was a 6-cylinder only. But, oh my gosh. Here, hang on 1 second. Let's do it like that. There we go. Now we're back. I didn't know the 1LE was available in the 4-cylinder. I know that it was significantly less, and I know that you got some aero and stuff. I think that if my memory serves me, I think it was like $4,000 or $5,000 for the 1LE pack. And, oh, damn it. Thanks, man. Mr. Wayne, you'd like to know, says, we saw nothing. I'll start it over here. That's what I get for skipping a week, man. It has been a week. I'm telling you here.
Strip ones that were meant for the road course. What's interesting with this one is that when you hear the letters and numbers 1LE, that actually means a lot. Back in the 1980s, in the SCCA, which is the Sports Car Club of America, there was a class called the showroom stock class. Racers that were racing Camaros wanted a little bit more suspension, brakes, things like that, but they could not do it because it had to be showroom stock. General Motors decided to help out those road racers and come out with the 1LE option. So when you check that option off, it doesn't give you more horsepower, but where it's going to give you performance is in handling, braking, and definitely in looks. This color was all new for 2019. It's called Shock. And what's interesting is that when Chevrolet had a special Camaro SS at SEMA last year for 2018, they showed off this color, and it was just going to be just a show color. So many people loved it that they said, we want it, and General Motors decided to add it to the color palette. It's just called Shock. So let's go ahead and dive into this Camaro RS 1LE. So when you hear RS, automatically that should tell you that it is a V6. Now the 1LE option you could get for the SS, the ZL1, the RS, and also the inline-4 turbocharged engine. But this is the V6. So right off the bat, that bright yellow called Shock. I love the way that the color just fits the body lines of this car perfect. You have your functional air curtains on the side. Everything is flat black, a little bit of gloss black for extra cooling. A large, now part of the 1LE option, it's gonna be...
Boom, that's it right there. So I'm gonna say, you get the air curtain, and I don't know if that was available for like every RS package, V8 and V6, but that was the biggest part of my SS1LE was the splitter to push air under the car and get it up into the engine bay, and then the air curtains to get the air pushed around, and then the magnetic suspension. But you know, you don't get all that stuff in the V6 and 4-cylinder, but it's a massive upgrade. And not to break in here too much, but yeah, huge upgrades for the little bit of money. Now I think that your money went a lot further into the SS, especially the SS. I think the SS was the bargain of the century, but never mind. I'll let them keep going here, and we'll build up some context. And
going to be braking, it's going to be handling, but it's also going to be some extra body pieces for downforce. This front spoiler, this lip spoiler here, that's going to give us more downforce. It's going to help scoop air into the radiators of this V6. Now, as we come across the front, there's our RS badge, just in silver. You have your black bow tie here. Everything else is flat black, but you can see how far this extends to give us downforce. That's going to give you a better feeling off the front end of the car and get air into the radiator. Speaking of the radiator is larger on the 1LE. It's additional radiator, volume. It's also an engine oil cooler and a diff cooler out back. As we go up onto the hood, this is special for the 1LE. So flat black, a lot of it, flat black wrapped hood. I think it works perfect with the shock color and the rest of it. As we come around the bend, here's where we're gonna see some changes. These are 1LE specific wheels. So this is a 20-inch wheel, nice design. I like the flat black. It's a 245 on the width, 40 series sidewall. You have larger brake rotors and larger calipers, Brembo calipers on the 1LE. Other than that, you're gonna have different dampers to give you totally different compression and rebound, and also thicker anti-sway bars. The anti-sway bars are gonna cancel out that body roll from this V6 Camaro. We go down in the fenders. As we come down, there's that iconic Camaro badge, the red, white, and blue. And then the rest of the...
Holy shit. So you're getting bigger radiator, oil cool. Man, I tell you what, for the $4,000 or $5,000, this was a shit ton of performance. I don't know. Does anybody in here have a 4-cylinder? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see in the future. But I'm telling you, this is a way underslept on car, and there is absolutely none of them as far as like building channels or any kind of presentation or whatever. I know this isn't. It's not going to be. I don't know what's the word for it. There's not a lot of hype behind them, but Buick Grand National, anybody? I'll just bust in here. I did some checking on them the other day, and holy crap. I'll just get in here. 90 grand, well, 90 grand or whatever. 65, they range anywhere. 20. I don't know what's up with this one. 180 grand seems like they're fucking with your pocket a little too heavy on that one. But nonetheless, I'll keep an eye on it. I'm going to watch it. But yeah, these cars are going for big, big money. And they were V6. They didn't have any crazy exhaust sound. They were, I believe, can't remember if the piston was over squared on those or not. They didn't have a menacing sound to them or anything. They weren't crazy or whatever, but yeah, they were a badass car, and they're building big power out of them. Hang on one second here. Get back into Mr. Rady, but yeah. Junior Mints 3 says, I've never seen a 4-cylinder 1LE. I didn't know they existed. For real. I didn't know they existed until right now. And I'll be honest with you, I've watched a lot of Rady's rides pretty much since he started on YouTube, and he's very knowledgeable, and his stuff is pretty accurate. So I'm gonna have to do some research on that, but at face value, I'd believe him. It wouldn't make sense. Now I can't remember who was that race car driver. The name's escaping me right now, but he intentionally bought, it's either a 4 or 6-cylinder. I thought it was a 6-cylinder. And he was racing around Willow Springs, and he posted a Randy Bobst, and he did a lot of content with his 1LE, 6-cylinder 1LE on Instagram. It was love-hate deal, but the car's fast, man. So I guess you got a lot more for your money than what I thought. I guess you got, different shocks. So pretty much it's just going to be, probably just a stiffer shimmed shock. And you got a little bit 245s. So I don't think the wheels really changed any, but you got Brembo brakes. So you got more stop power, a little bit higher capacity on cooling, a little bit more cooling on the engine oil, and you got cooling on the rear differential. So this thing's crazy. It's a lot. I'm just gonna let this play out here, and then I'm gonna keep going. Motherfucker.
The rest of this Camaro is pretty much spot on to any other 2020 Camaro. You do have the flat black on the mirrors to go with the hood and with the tires. And as we come back, that rear quarter window, really that concept car side window, very, very short, Side window has always been a complaint of many people. I like the way the rear fender kind of flares out. Out back, you have 275. So the rear tires are actually a little bit wider than the front ones. What that does is that by having a little bit smaller width on the tire, it's going to quicken up the steering up front. Having the wider tire out back, it's going to give us the traction that we need. Coming out back, this is another 1LE specific. So this is going to give us downforce. It's a trunk lid spoiler. I like the kick up. I like the way it's flat black. Makes a nice cohesive package. We drop down, we have our RS badge. I am gonna zonk that because I feel like they just threw it at the back bumper here. So I wish they would have put it somewhere a little bit nicer. This does have the cleared out taillights. I personally like the bright red ones and get rid of these horizontal lines. Other than that, they're not too bad. Dual mode exhaust. So this has the exhaust where you can make it louder or quieter, and a very, very simple flat black diffuser. I'm gonna zonk it. I wish they would go a little bit more aggressive looking on the diffuser. But other than that, with this color, very sharp. Let's pop the hood and see what we're working with. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on the RS 1LE. You'll notice that it comes with hood struts, which is a nice touch. Something
comes with hood struts. Wow. So anyways, I guess you guys are wondering, like, why the fuck we talking about 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder Camaro? For those of you just joining, I know I see a lot of them popping in and out. I don't feel like this car gets enough attention. I don't feel like it gets the love it deserves, and I don't think that people have taken the right approach on it. Everybody kind of just like idolizes the V8, and I fell victim of it too. We all do it, especially with the presence of social media, and everybody just wants to be at the fucking top, and you know. Yeah, having the ZL1's cool. Yeah, but there's like, I'm telling you what, as a ZL1 owner, this car is badass. I mean, from my vantage point, you spin around, you look down, and it's like less than half of the cost of my car brand new. And I mean, NPP exhaust, you know, the flat black, that blade spill. Now, you know, the paint and shit, that doesn't really cost, especially black and white. Those are the two. For as far as like raw pigment and everything goes, those are the two cheapest colors that any paint manufacturer can supply is black and white. So the black paint, as far as like the mirrors, maybe the wrap, but I mean, when you got multi-billion-dollar company coming up on such a scale, you know they're not getting anything. But your money really, really went far. 275 rear wheels. That's the same as an SS. So you get the same footprint as an SS. And I'm going to tell you what. So I zoomed in here, and I'll add this in. You just went into like a Chevy press room for these cars. And this is a 2023, but I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know how it comes up in StreamYard, but if you highlight it here, so it looks like the 4-cylinder manual, and I'm going coupe because, you know, pretty much anybody with any kind of sports car is predominantly coupe. Now, the convertible's right there if you want to look it up, whatever, that's cool, but 3351. And I think the automatic's even lighter. Yeah, 3332 for the 4-cylinder, 3411 and 3418 for the V6. So you're talking mid 3300, low 3400s on the V6. Guys, that's like 700 pounds because my car's 4,000. If you get up to like a ZL1 automatic convertible, they're 4,200, I believe. This car, you can, especially Camaro, if you guys have ever popped the hood, I don't know if you Camaro 6 owners, you ever popped the hood and like took a look around in the engine bay. If you really wanted to cut weight on these cars, you can make them super, super light. Like the fender aprons. Now I'm gonna talk on the V8 because I don't know, I've never had the hood popped, or I've never really had that much exposure. Shame on me for having this stream and sitting here running my mouth and not really having any hands-on experience with this car. But the fender aprons, they're fender liners. There's no material there. If you take the fender liner out of the wheel housing, you can look straight through the engine bay. Yeah. So the Camaro, you can get super, super light, especially if you start taking interior panels out and stuff like that. Yeah. Shit ton of metal. Material, I mean, I'm sorry. Mr. What Can You Like to Know says they did make them. Thanks for the verification. I've seen two 1LEs that weren't V8s. They did make them in the V6, but I want to know if they made them in the 4-cylinder. Because I have never seen them in a 4-cylinder. Unsure which power plant? Okay. Nothing to determine what they have. Although the V6 had several constraints, yeah. They were in and out. They were touch and go. Yeah, I think they were like 325, 335 horsepower or something. It was a lot. I mean, that's also what I'm saying is it depends on the gear and the transmission they had in them. I believe the 4-cylinder had an 8-speed. I don't believe they got the 10-speed or anything, but yeah, these cars were. You can make them wicked. I bet you could get one under 3,000 pounds. Easy. And, you know, that dyno, you load the dyno up, it's exactly. Yep. Yeah. And if it's $300 to you and me, imagine what they're probably getting it for 75 bucks. I mean, it's so cheap to them. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. But I'm just saying, you know, I've seen, now I don't know the engine code for the Buick Grand National, but I think it'd be cool to have like a throwback of a V6, but sub 3,000 pound car, 1,000 horsepower twin turbo V6. Come on, man. Potential's there. Potential is there. I'll keep going with this here.
Something that Mustangs don't have. What you're looking at underneath that boring plastic engine cover, which I am going to zonk that, is a 335 horsepower V6, 284 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in about 5.1 seconds, quarter mile in 13.7, a top speed of 151 miles an hour. The car weighs about 3,500 pounds. And like I said, this car is about handling performance. So when you compare this to the SS, you're going to have lighter weight off the front end because this is a V6. Also, you have that limited slip differential. That's part of the, like I said, this car is about handling performance. So when you compare this to the SS, you're going to have.
Sorry, I had my mic muted. If you guys look right there by the air filter, the air box, that black void, that's what I'm talking about. If you pull that fender liner out, you'll see the tire. You can see concrete right through that fender liner. That's nothing more than just a felt piece of like cardboard. These cars you can get super, super light. The Alpha chassis is insane. I'm going to let them keep going.
Have lighter weight off the front end because this is a V6. Also, you have that limited slip differential. That's part of the 1LE option. The larger radiator, the engine oil cooler, the diff cooler, and then the additional body work and brakes and wheels. It's a lot of package for not a ton of money, but why don't we go ahead, fire up this V6 and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020.
Okay, that's pretty much where I'm going to leave that one at. But I just wanted to let you hear the sound. Actually, you know what? Let's just go back to back here. I'll pull up. I'm going to do this. I'll pull up Buick Grand National. Pretty damn comparable. If you put a turbo on the exhaust side of that V6, I'll bet you it'd be something pretty close to that. So let me see here. Mr. Junior says, I think if it wasn't a Camaro, people would eat this thing up. Yeah, I mean, it took the SS to freaking be extinct before people jumped on it, and to this day, I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, yeah, it's a badass car. I for some reason, just some of these things you can't explain. I know a lot of people just get like envy, man, and I don't know what's up because this is a freaking cool car. So pretty much what I'm getting is you get like a SS, maybe just a little bit more, because you still get the Alcantara steering wheel, you get the Alcantara, all the goodies in the seat, but you get like a plain SS interior. So, but I know that car brand new, like loaded, was like 35, I believe it was. So yeah, my ZL1 was 77. And if you're going to get all that minus the power, I think that's a better buy. I think that's a better buy. I really do. Stock for stock. Goat Life. Nice. Is that a 5th gen? Nice. Wouldn't be horrible if it wasn't a Camaro. Sounds good. And all the way wrong at the same time. Kinda. Yeah. That's what I'm saying is everybody gets so envious of the V8, and the V8 just kind of, maybe it stands in the shadow of the V8. I don't know what's up, but I'm kind of just, now that the Camaro's gone and everything, I'm taking the time and I'm just kind of giving it the spotlight that it deserves. And I'm just saying, hey, we need to, these cars, there's a lot of respect, man. They deserve a lot of respect. And I'm also wondering, I couldn't really find out any production numbers, but I'll bet you they're rare. Because as soon as the V8 comes out, especially the supercharged, I did the same thing. Everybody's, that's what I want. Oh, I want that one. So, and every time you talk to a V6 Camaro owner, it's always the same thing. They feel like they're making an excuse because it's like the broke man model, which it kind of is, because it costs less. It's a lower barrier of entry, but it's still a cool car, man. They gear them to be ultra cool. The aftermarket used to have a lot of support for them, but no, I haven't really seen shit for these cars. But I think this might be a way to go. If you could get one sub 3,000 pounds, if you get one under 3,000 pounds, like, what the fuck? That's where I'm at. Because, I mean, you want to talk about an amplified effect? Scott Davis says, I own a 29. Yes. I don't care if you own a 4, 6, or 8. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Because we were already last in sales, and it really doesn't matter. It's the enthusiasm. I don't care how much money you've spent on it. It's the enthusiasm as far as like driving it. And was it a 4-cylinder? I could have swore Randy Pops was a 6-cylinder. I believe it was blue, wasn't it? I was trying to do a bunch of research today, and I was trying to work at the same time, so I really didn't get as much as I'd like done. But this isn't going to be the only stream I have on these, because I was really, the more I dig on it, I kind of, that thing come with 335 horsepower. I'm telling you, the dyno, the street is not going to give a shit if it's a 1-cylinder. 335 horsepower is 335 horsepower. And especially if you can get it like 2,900 pounds. Ooh, that's McLaren 765 LT territory, buddy. Let's see if you can get it to the ground. But yes, a twin turbo system on that would be badass. So yes, the production numbers, I'm pretty sure low. But the aftermarket is gonna suck. I don't know. I've been kind of thinking about scooping one up. I don't know what you guys' hype on it would be. I don't know. But if you go through, because I mean, the reality of the whole situation is Enterprise, Hertz. This is like the most common um, car that you could get, as far as this the 4 6 cylinder pretty much floated the V8 line. The SS not so much. I believe that the SS sold, but yeah, as far as like the rental cars and like the vast majority volume, 4 cylinders. I will say that Enterprise is who I use, and every time I went to Enterprise, it was always a 4 cylinder that they had on hand. But I never rented one, but I just checked. But yeah, those were the guys that absolutely had the vast majority of the volume that put on the road. So if you go to like Copart or whatever, all these scrap yards, that's gonna be the one to go. I'm pretty sure there'd be support for it too. Yeah, I want one. I kind of do want one. Not really as like a daily banger, but I think it would make a really good dig car. I think if you could cut a ton of weight out of it. Um, and here's the part where I do like the fact that it's turbo because it would be forged internals. The thing is like I'm digging this car so much I'm thinking about doing it myself, but I'm afraid that it's not gonna get the views, it's not gonna get the attention. So I'm kind of like putting the old toe in the freaking water here. So 275 horse, man. That's a long ways from where you need to be, brother. So yeah, I don't think that car, if you could get it down around 3,000 pounds, I don't think it would be that quick until about 600 horsepower. I think if you do twin turbos on a V6, I think it could get there real easy. Aftermarket support. I mean, as long as you know the dimensions, you guys can get anything that you need. It doesn't have to say XYZ manufacturer made for this car. I know across town here in Des Moines, PBM, Engine Parts Warehouse. If you know the dimensions, it doesn't matter if it's a Ferrari. If you know the dimensions on the pistons, connecting rods, whatever, even like billet blocks, you can assemble anything from scratch. So support, you would be, you could do whatever you want. It's just finding the talent to get it to put together and then getting the tuning done. But I honestly think that portion I've probably got figured out, but I'd have to double check. So other than that, that's pretty much all I had tonight. I know tonight was going to be a quick video, but I kind of wanted to just test the waters, and I'm judging by the chat, it's a dead end. And that kind of sucks. Because yeah, just like Scott Davis said, it doesn't matter what you got, 4 cylinder, 6 cylinder, 8 cylinder, it's about the enthusiasm, because it's not about the amount of money, and not everybody has the budget to buy ZL1, Lamborghini, Ferrari, whatever. And that's okay. It's about the enthusiasm, and it's about, making it your own, pushing the boundaries, because that's where the enthusiasm, and that's where you really see what people emotionally have invested in the car, and the brand, or just like the love for it is. It's where it's at. So I don't know, fellas. So I guess real competition was Mustang Challenge. Yeah. Um, as far as like Camaro goes, I think that's a hype machine, man. I think social media kind of took that and ran with it. And I think, once people freaking jumped on one bandwagon, or whatever, I think that's, everybody else followed, and that's just where it was. So, yeah, the Camaro, unfortunately, I have no words for why GM never advertised the car, because it really is that good. It really is that good. So, by the time I think that everybody catches up with what the car actually is and what it can do and what it is actually worth, is I think it's going to be too late. But I don't know. I think everybody's kind of abandoning these Apple cars. I just watched a video on that. That's why I said it. Yeah. Too bad for, man, I tried. LT1s rock. Yes. Yep. Yeah. I don't think that they made a bad car. I really don't. I didn't hear of any really bad Camaro 6s. The LT1 was 100% sleeper. There is a ton of power waiting to get in that thing. The Corvette, you do the rods, pistons, drop-in kit. Oh my gosh, you could. I mean, it's limitless. I was perfectly happy singing a fortune into my, yeah. Man, why? How far away? I mean, keep that GTO. I think that the market's probably, they're going to have their day on the market, man. Um, yeah, I think any LS platform, because LS is still really hot. LTs, I have no idea why it hasn't taken off, because it went into production, had its freaking its high point in production, and now it's almost out of production. But yeah, it still hasn't taken off. And I'm telling you what, the direct injection, it's absolutely insane what you can do with direct injection. I think once it becomes more affordable or whatever, I think a lot of the people are going to take to it fast and hard. But yeah, the GTO, that thing was a badass car. I know a lot of people just call it pretty much a Pontiac G8 or whatever, but I think it's a badass car, and it had a big following. So, no, yeah. Which 1LE did it get? The SS1LE. I think the SS1LE was where your money went the furthest. I think that was the sweet spot in Camaro 6, but I'm really tempted to try to look for one of these V6 1LEs or 4-cylinder 1LEs. I just don't know the production numbers on them. I'm gauging by the amount of interaction I'm getting here. It's kind of a dead end, but you never know. You never know. So I might still do it. I might not. If it's going to be that big of a throw of the dice, I might find one that's like, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what's up. We'll have to see what's up. Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it every time. I absolutely understand you, buddy. Yeah. That's all I have, fellas. Well, I'm just kind of laying the ground context in the future. Man, the thing is that's been done so much. That's been done so much. The thing is the 4-cylinder, it's so light, and that's where it's going to have the amplified effect. If you could get 400, 500, 600 horsepower, it's going to feel probably like 850 out of a V8 car. It's going. I know where you're at. I know where you're at. I know where you're at. I just feel like it's been done so much. The cost of admission is the LT's fault. LS is so much cheap. Yes, I get you, man. I get you. Again, here's my thing: is with the introduction of EVs, GM killed it. I mean, they only made the LT5 1 year. I mean, they're kind of. I can't tell. Now, if you go to like uh, Killer Performances, was it? Um, I'll put it up. I'll put it up later. But yeah, it's Staying Killer Productions. That's it. Sorry. But if you go to, he tore down the Escalade V, and they were talking about how similar it is to an LT5 with the same blower, but it could be LT4, and they were kind of, you know, interswapping part numbers and stuff like that. It's a good video. You should go back and watch it, and kind of it kind of gives you the lay of the land. But the LT5, it was just, they used it 1 year. They really didn't market the car. They marketed Corvette. And throughout Camaro 6's lifespan, for every year they would sell double the Corvettes that they would Camaro, which doesn't even make sense to me because Alpha chassis, like, it's damn good. Like, if they brought Camaro 7 back in a gas version, which, we still got the V8 gas V8 coming, there's still a chance. And they're killing off EVs left and right. Like I just said, I just watched a video that said Apple was going to build a car. They were in the space to build a car. And this has been like ongoing since 2008. They've been kicking around this idea, and they scrapped it. So the EV car, I hope it's like going by the wayside. But like I said, my time in the EV space, at first I was kind of like, whatever. They can run along the side of production. They can run, do whatever they're going to do. I've come to the conclusion now they're going to do it anyways. So I've pretty much given up on the EV. I'm anti-EV, just because I know the architecture and the platform and the technology they're going to put into them, watching you, monitoring you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not into that, man. I like my freedom. I like to be free. I like to do whatever I want. And yeah, I'm just, that's pretty much the main reason why I've given up on that. So, but the LT, I'm gonna tell you what, I don't know how an LS user would find its way to an LT platform, but if they did, once you get in and once you figure out the LT and you figure out how efficient it is and how much power at an OE level it can handle, there's no going back. There's no going back. It's stronger in every way. It's more efficient in every way. And it's more capable in every way than an LS. So maybe it'll take time. I'm just hoping that there's enough units out there. And I'm hoping this new V8 has a good performance platform or potential there. So don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I know that, with the Camaro, they're gone. Camaro 7, if it comes back, when it comes back. Now they're talking that it might be a brand. And that's just weird. I don't know how that's going to conceptualize, or I don't know how that's going to materialize. Because they're talking a brand, which makes no sense to me. And if anybody can explain this to me or whatever, if you can put it in the chat, I would be very, very appreciative, because they're talking about making it a subcompact brand. And yeah. I don't know how that would work out. That would be like how Dodge did Ram, and now everything is just Ram XYZ models. Yeah. So it'll be interesting how it plays out. It's gonna be an absolute freaking abomination if they bring the Camaro back as a product brand line. So, but okay, fellas, we're coming up in on the hour. I kind of see that this is gonna be a dead end. So either we'll have to see what's up in the future. But yeah, ZL1. We got more tuning content coming, so we're getting that dialed in. It's gonna be something interesting here in the future. The fuck, Mr. Billiam? Exactly how Dodge did the Ram for the government EPA goals by separating the models, their economy cars to meet the requirements. Probably. Probably. It's gonna be a shit show, brother. It will be. It's gonna be bad. It's just not gonna be what we're used to seeing. I don't know if it's gonna be like Porsche did with the Turbo S, and they introduced it into the um, Taycan line. So who knows? We'll see. We'll see what's up here in the future. But other than that, it's good to see a bunch of you in the chat. It's good to see you guys. So I know I've been a little slow on the video making, but I've just kind of been enjoying things. I've kind of been adapting, and if you haven't noticed, my demeanor's different. I feel different, and I'm getting adjusted and used to everything, the new lifestyle and everything. So yeah, but stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot more content coming out. So other than that, I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Maybe we'll see you next week. Maybe not. But until then, don't forget to subscribe, like the video. You know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you later.